Hello, everybody. This is Jason F. Smith.
And Jennie Stanchfield.
Creators of the Shades of Intimacy and Modern Day Warrior, and Jennie's the creator of the Elemental Feminine. Workshops found at jasonfsmith.com and jenniestanchfield.com. So, welcome to the Daily Download, and today's topic is Hallelujah in the Bathroom. Hallelujah in the Bathroom. So, sit back, relax, and welcome to today's Daily Download. Okay, so I am being forced. I'm being forced by my lovely wife Jennie to tell this story.
It's a good story.
I don't know that it's that good. I really don't, but I'm going to tell it. So I went to Billy Blanco's today for lunch at it's in Park City or Kimball Junction-ish area. It's actually more by Jeremy Ranch, and I had to use the restroom, and it's one of those restrooms down in the basement. So you go down in the basement, you walk in, and Billy Blanco's is like one of those places that's got flair everywhere. It's just like stuff, motorcycle stuff. It's all about motorcycle stuff, right? And so I walk into the bathroom, enter in, and there's this like big contraption with handlebars, and it looks like a water pump, and it's just right there by the sink, and I'm like, whoa, that's cool, and I say that out loud. And it's holding towels, rolled up little towels. So there's no paper dispenser. It's like real towels. And I'm looking and I go, wow, that's cool. And then I stop and go, shit, I just said that aloud. So I glance to the left. There's a urinal, standing urinal. Nobody's there. And there's one of those walls of metal for the stall. And there's a door to the side and it's wide open. So I'm safe. There's nobody here. My little outburst is just pure innocent. Wow, that's cool. I said it out loud, looked around, I felt a little sheepish, and then, so I go to the bathroom. I'm in the standing urinal, right? And I don't know why, but now that I'm free and absolutely sure no one's in the bathroom with me, for the stupidest reason, I just began to sing Hallelujah. I'm like, hallelujah. These are the things that happen to me when I'm alone in a bathroom. Peeing.
That's awesome.
Right? So I'm well into my hallelujah routine when the first sign is I hear a toilet seat creak. I'm all like, what? And then I hear a flush. Like a flush. And I'm glancing a little left, and right next to me, is the stall, and the door is still open. And I'm like, what the fuck? There is someone in the shitter. There's someone in there. And then I hear him start to pull toilet paper. And I'm like, so I stopped singing. I'm like, holy shit, this has gone wrong. And in the back of my head, it's like, who goes to a public restroom? Seriously. Who goes to a public restroom, Jennie, and leaves the door open? Right? I mean... That guy. Like, if I could have walked in on him. Like, I would have thought the stall was empty. So, anyways, I didn't. And I'm getting out of there, and then he flushes, and there's more toilet paper. I'm hurrying, I'm washing my hands, and he comes out, and I'm like, look down, and I just bolt out of there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
You know what I love about I honestly actually really love this about public bathrooms.
Okay.
I love this.
Yeah.
Because most people, you avoid them like the plague, right?
Oh, yes.
And,
absolutely.
I have to use the public bathroom every single day because I work in a huge office building. I mean, we're lined up like cattle right next to each other,
Yeah.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And no, I love the vulnerability in bathrooms. It just delights me. It absolutely delights me. When you walk in and like whoever's in the stall has no idea there's someone else in the bathroom, and they're making all sorts of noise or they're singing a song. Like, bathrooms delight me because people are so vulnerable.
Oh, yeah.
In them. And you can feel like the clench when someone realizes, like, it's like someone farts. You can feel their clench. I mean, there's the people in the stalls who you can tell. You walk in there and you walk into the stall next to them and you can tell they've been sitting there for God knows how long because they refuse to poo while there's someone else in the bathroom.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And public bathrooms now, they just delight me. They delight me.
Yeah, this is, and there's the other interesting part about public bathrooms, and men will possibly understand this more than ladies. If there's a string of urinals, say there's 6 or 7, right?
Yeah.
There's an unwritten rule amongst men. It's an absolute unwritten rule. So if there's no one there, you go to one of the far ends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course. Well, that's like the stalls.
Yeah.
Even in the women's
So
bathroom.
does it happen?
If there's a woman here in this stall and there's 2 more stalls, I don't know if every woman does this, but I'm like, I'm not gonna go in the stall right next to her.
Exactly.
That would be.
You never.
I don't want to be
that's-
crowded.
No, that's absolute stall etiquette, and it's urinal etiquette too. And nothing worse. Like, it'll clench you up. You will stop peeing if you are. And it happens. It still happens. You just be on a string of 6 or 8 or 10 urinals, and you'll just go far corner, and someone will walk in, and you hear them from behind, and they're coming. You're like, boy,
they're gonna come right next to me.
And you're like, no, they're not. But they're coming close. Like, they should go to the other side. Like, they're gonna be within 2 or 3. This happens a lot at airports. You're like, oh no, and then you hear the steps, and then out of the fucking peripherals, you're like, that son of a bitch is standing right next to me. Like, this is no good. This is no bueno.
Bathrooms are the best. Public bathrooms are literally the best. I went from hating them. Like, when I first started my, working where I'm working, like, I don't know, a decade and a half ago. Like, I would sneak into the bathroom. I would sneak all the way across the building to find the most unoccupied bathroom in the most unoccupied portion of the building. And now it's just like, I love them. I love going in and just the vulnerability of people and like the little noises, and you can feel the little clenches in people and the little collapses, and they're like, oh my God, I have to stay open because I actually have to walk out of this stall and wash my hands and still act like a normal human being. I fucking love them.
No, it's a terrible thing. I think public restrooms are pretty much okay. So we'll just go into neurotic Jason, right? No, they're the worst fucking things in the world. I have nothing to do with public restrooms. They're a thing. I've gotten better, but when I went to the bathroom once in 12 years of public school. Mm-hmm. Once. It was in middle school. I was violently sick. Yeah, and it was either go into the public bathroom or I would shit my pants. I would not, and I wasn't old enough to drive. Had I been able to drive, I just bolted out, I got in my car and drove home. That's how that would have worked. Yeah, never once. No, except for the once. And I got caught once when I was about 25, driving by Trolley Square, and I had to pull over and find a bathroom in there. That was an emergency. It's one of the few times. And I was at a concert. That's the 3rd time I've used public restrooms. and then my years. So this is just more neuroticism for you. I was a freshman at Westminster College, and I lived in the dorms, and we didn't have our own bathrooms in the dorms. We just had these public bathrooms.
Oh yeah.
And so I just, for the first week, maybe I'm telling too much. Is this too much? I set my alarm for 4:00 in the morning, so I could run down there and take a shit when no one was around.
Well, no, but you know what changed it for me?
I overcame that.
Right, but you know what changed it for me? Because I was the same way. Like I just said, I used to go find the bathroom in the most farthest reaches of the building because I didn't want anyone to be in the bathroom with me. When I stopped collapsing around what was happening with my own body and what my body was doing, and started recognizing, to my delight, which might sound really evil, or not to my delight, when I started realizing, like, there were other people in that bathroom with me that were so kinked up
Yeah.
around making a sound or, you know, doing what their body naturally does, that they were actually creating closure and pain
They were. And
in
that's
their
what-
life
yeah.
because they were so afraid of just the natural function and flow of what needed to happen.
Yeah.
And it was when I stopped self-referencing on my own shit, literally,
I
and
get it.
started paying attention to the clenches of the people around me. And which then I actually started delighting in when people just let it, you know, you're in the bathroom, people are just
Yeah.
letting it fly. Like, that delights me.
Yeah.
Because it's a metaphor. It's, you know, we're all out in the world doing our thing, and the world's trying to, you know, the universe is trying to run through us, and it's in its best, most glorious possible way, which is going to create all sorts of sounds and shapes and things
Yeah.
that feel funny to us. You know, and the beauty of it is when you let it happen.
Yeah. And it's funny, it's where you're talking about is the sense of vulnerability that happens there, right? But what this goes to like being a child, and you see it once in a while. So what I was doing was it was expressing some exuberance. So I was
Exactly.
singing, like I was singing Hallelujah.
Yeah, innocent vulnerability,
Yeah.
just innocence.
Yeah, and I was doing it in like the one place that you need to shut up. Right?
The sacred halls of the shitter.
Yeah, like this is the place where you can't sing, you know?
Right.
You are to take a newspaper and read and just be quiet. Everyone's real quiet in the bathroom.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not always.
Not always.
Not always. Some people cross that line. They're like, "Hey, Bob, how you doing?" You're like, "Holy shit!" Then I'm not.
No.
And I'm talking cross-stall shitter conversations.
Those ones I'm fine with. It's the people that are carrying on conversations on their phone. Like, you
Oh.
can tell they're on their phone. Like, I'm still a little collapsed around those ones. I'm like, dude, really? You're
Yeah.
on your phone.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a friend who spent some time in China, though, and he said, yeah, another piece of this whole story, right, is Americans are so uptight.
Yeah, of course.
Like, it's just uptight.
Yeah.
So the Chinese, you walk into a room, and there's a trough,
Yeah.
and it's built at an
And
angle.
you're just lined up right next to each other.
And they're all very good at squatting.
Yeah.
And businessmen. So they're all built in the squat, and then kind of they're just pooping in a squat next to each other. And they smell super, super bad, like puke-inducing bad, but they're all there. And then
Yeah.
kind of you pee into the trough too, and it's kind of eventually hoping that the pee at the slight angle washes the shit down.
No.
Yeah, so this is China in some of its areas, but yeah, but Americans are uptight, and this is why are we telling you this? Is we're all having fun of it, but this is about relationship. I mean, about those uptight moments,
Right.
you know. And there's, yeah, I mean, so there's a beginning and an end to thing, right? So when you have a baby, they poop their pants all the time, and you're wiping them and the whole thing, you know, you're just wiping their butt. You know, and you're okay with that, you know. And then there's this middle time when everyone holds on to their shit, right? And then I remember I had a family member when she got older, got very sick, and I had to clean her up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were there for this. And it's like, just get the job done. You know, we're all human. And in relationship, there's a tendency to hide. We go into our little stalls where we hold our shit, you know,
And yet everyone knows what you're doing.
and everyone knows what you're doing. Yeah, everyone knows what you're doing.
Right.
So there's a sense of, come on in, let's hallelujah the thing. Let's bring a sense of openness to it. I'm not talking about, you know, everyone walking to everyone in the bathroom. What I'm talking about is those emotional vulnerable areas where we kind of wall ourselves off. And, you know, it's that we pretend. There's a lie in this space, and none of us shit, none of us piss, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so now we're being real crude here, and it's being fun, and we're not arguing for crudeness, but the challenge is where in your relationship where in your relationship are you holding on to your shit? Are you hiding your vulnerabilities and refusing to sing hallelujah?
Right.
Like here's an interesting way to look at this, Jenny. I was, not trying to be funny at all, and the embarrassment of the whole thing was I just had a brief moment of just singing hallelujah. It was kind of fun. Yeah. It was a childlike moment. I was like, I don't know why. Who knows why that happened? Acoustics, yeah. So I just had a moment. There's really nothing wrong with that innocent moment.
No.
It was just a moment of singing. I've heard people sing sometimes, and sometimes it's really. I think they're always more embarrassed than I was like, oh, you're singing. That doesn't bother me.
But where else does that happen?
Yeah.
Where else? The bathroom. That's where it happens.
Yeah.
Like literally, there. I know people are gonna think I'm weird. There is literally something about the bathroom. Like even your bathroom at home. What do? You go in there. You go to the bathroom. You start singing. You read a great book.
Yeah.
You play you get on, I don't know, do a crossword puzzle or whatever. Like you're taking these innocent moments to yourself.
Yeah.
It is the moment of one of the greatest moments of vulnerability. And
But it's also a moment, you're bringing up a good point. It's also a moment of absolute delightful isolation.
Right.
Like okay.
Who's gonna come in?
Yeah, I'm gonna close the door.
You're totally safe.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm alone. The other place that this probably happens is in your car when you're alone.
Yeah, there you go.
Like in my car, alone. It's not the same anymore, actually, because Google's listening to you on your cell phone. But if you threw your cell phone out, you could literally say whatever you wanted in your car.
No.
Well, probably the new cars are listening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But there's this space where you carve out for yourself innocence to be silly.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was a kid, I would do that all the time.
Right.
And I used to get criticized. Like, I was called like a dreamer. My mom was all like, you're like in dreamland all the time.
Right.
Because and I've written novels. I like stories. I'm a real big fan of the stories, and I would write novels. And like when I get going in my head, like I have to kind of walk, and so I'll start the dialogues going between the characters. And as a kid, that's how I would do it. Mm-hmm. And I remember my mom saying, you do that in your car or you do that in the bathroom. Don't do that where anyone can see you. No singing hallelujah out where anyone can see you, right? But that's kind of a confining thing that we do to each other.
Oh, yeah. And well, I mean, from a very young age, we're taught not to be vulnerable in front of one another.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, literally, speaking of the bathroom, yeah. I mean, you are taught, well, you can't do that in public. You can't do this in public. You don't let your bodily functions do X, Y, and Z in public. Same thing.
Yeah.
Well, you don't sing in public. You don't talk too loudly in public. You don't talk to your imaginary friend in public. You don't,
Yeah.
So we lose all of this natural flow. We disconnect and fragment all this natural flow of thing. And we actually become ashamed of it.
Yeah, there's shame, and which is the theme of what we have been talking about for everything that we do, which is, sedation and a neutralization.
Yeah.
It's this is more of a cultural neutralization of our exuberance, right? We often talk about the neutralization of the masculine and the feminine, or the male and the female, or the light and the dark. But this is the neutralization of the cultural neutralization, suppression, and oppression that leads to sedation of our exuberance, of our childlike wonder, of
the natural occurring
occurring things. So when we told everyone to stop farting in public, right? Which I'm not completely against that rule, but it is like someone farts in public, they're looked down. They're shamed. You get to immediate shame.
You're shamed.
You're immediately shamed.
Yeah.
Right? You don't do that shit. You don't do that.
Right.
And there's so shame involved. And the shame is the tool society uses to. So let me ask you why though.
Even when you're doing everything right. You're not farting in public. You've gone into your own little bathroom stall in your own little public restroom.
Yeah.
And you're still all fucked up about letting one rip.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, more can you possibly do to make this palatable?
You get in your car and you drive home. That's the answer to that. The proper use of shame in society. We'll rename the podcast. The title will now be The Proper Use of Shame in Society. Which brings up the great scene from Game of Thrones, which was just shame. Yeah, our twisted sense of humor. Hey, we're recording a podcast. We better wrap this up. Our son just walked in the door. He came back with some supplies for the dogs. So we're going to wrap this up. You have an assignment. Where are you holding back? Where are you holding your vulnerableness back? Exuberance back. And where's that being shamed? Yeah.
Well, and I have another assignment to layer on that is, for those, some of you may have absolutely no problem with public restrooms whatsoever, and this podcast has completely confounded you. But if you have any sort of clench around public restrooms, my assignment to all of you is to go into a public restroom and just, instead of feeling your own clench around everything, or even feeling your own clench and feeling everyone else's clench around you, and just in that moment, enjoy the innocence of it. Like, we've all learned these little closures. And instead, just enjoy that moment. Like, oh, that's life. That's, this person. I can love this person in their vulnerability. Like, the public restroom, it's a great place.
Yeah, I'll make an addendum to that. I'm going to collide with you on that. You don't go in and enjoy that. What you do is you practice opening in the closure.
Delight in it.
Like go sit you see someone in a stall and there's 40 stalls.
Singing.
Go get in a stall and and then sing. You don't even have to poop. Just go walk in there, close the door, and just start singing hallelujah and feel your own clench, because you're gonna feel it. And if you're sensitive enough, you'll feel the person next to you clench too. Okay, everybody. That's tonight's podcast. But it's being funny. We're being funny as a lighthearted one tonight. But the real truth of it is, there is some real strong shame and clench about certain areas of our life. And everything that we do, you and I, Jenny, in terms of our work, is to help people unclench. Yeah. When it's difficult,
just massage it back open.
Massage it back open, so that you're more available to live, to enjoy life, and to do more and better things with your life.
Let shit move through you.
Yeah, there you go. And that, I can't believe we didn't talk about constipation. Yeah, not holding on to our shit, and then things get really ugly. Yep. Okay, everybody, this is Jason F. Smith
and Jennie Stanchfield
signing off for the evening.